Yuta Akotu's transformation into his sensei Gojo Satoru has the potential to make him the strongest sorcerer that we may have ever seen. In this 11th hour versus the King of Curses Sukuna, this revenge match between Zombie Gojo and Sukuna could be one of the most technical and high-scaling battles yet, for however long that it lasts. But today, I want to talk about our expectation for Yuta's potential during his time within Gojo, and what his chances of winning actually are, because in a technical sense, Yuta should actually have an advantage. However, in a narrative sense, Sukuna is not losing. But with the sorcerers making the ultimate gamble to abandon all morals and bring back Gojo in the flesh, this power, this strength, and this strategy has to mean something, right? So first things first. How strong is Yuta right now? Well, we can only guess, but with Kenjaku's curse technique, it allows the user to possess the technique of its vessel. So Yuta has Gojo's limitless curse technique plus the 6 eyes. Right now, Yuta has used Gojo's unlimited void domain expansion, so naturally techniques like blue, red, and even hollow purple should be accessible. Well, that in itself is a bit sketchy. Since Shoko and the medical team healed Gojo and swapped Yuta's brain, Zombie Gojo should be at peak physical condition, and now he just has a new brain. Gojo's cursed energy levels should be normal. Yuta's brain would be functioning fine, and their power in unison would make Yuta almost like the next Satoru Gojo. However, Yuta isn't Gojo really. Even teen Gojo didn't have as many as his abilities as an adult, despite possessing the limitless plus the 6 eyes. In Yuta's case, he could use red because he knows reverse curse technique. Blue would only apply to negative cursed energy plus the limitless, so that's no problem. And on a basic level, his infinity may at worst become more manual. See, having Gojo's curse technique doesn't make you Gojo automatically. Gojo hammered training and understanding onto his body in order to become the honored one. Gojo developed an infinite cursed energy hack with the 6 eyes to never run out of cursed energy using that efficiency of his. He uses reverse curse technique on his brain constantly and keeps infinity on at all times, which causes immense stress on the limitless user's brain. However, Gojo can handle all of that. Until recently, Yuta didn't even know that reverse curse technique could restore a curse technique, so unsurprisingly, he wasn't on that level before. However, the solution is that Kenjaku's curse technique retains the body's memories, and we now understand the body picks up on muscle memory from its host. So in theory, Yuta should be able to operate at the same level as Gojo, if Gojo's body remembers the sensation of battle. And this would make Yuta quite strong. Right now, Sukuna is far from perfect. He is heavily damaged. His reverse curse technique is nerfed. His cursed energy output is nerfed. His domain expansion is incomplete, and at best lasts 99 seconds. To top it all off, the world slash that killed Gojo is impossible to pull off if Sukuna is missing his 2 left hands, and you cannot use the hand seal for a world slash with only 2 right hands. And let's not forget, with low reverse curse technique, one of those hands is unfit for combat, and now he's got to fight Gojo, aka the CEO of hands, which hand to hand was beating Sukuna bad in Shinjuku against a stronger Sukuna than we're fighting right now. Then look at the domain expansion stats. Since Yuta knows the game plan, he can use Gojo's strategy to shrink Unlimited Void so the barrier shell can endure Malevolent Shrine slashes for 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Current Malevolent Shrine only lasts for 99 seconds. Then add variables like how Malevolent Shrine has to shrink in order to increase the power of the slashes, or even turn off the short hit altogether in order to increase the attack power. And then the myriads of binding vows that Sukuna has to do just to keep up. Gege can't even list them all. And Malevolent Shrine's sure hit commands may not actually protect Sukuna since it does not target him, leaving him vulnerable to Unlimited Void. But now there is no Maharaga to bail him out or adapt. So he just have to let Megami take the hits again or change his domain specifications altogether. I'ma be honest with y'all, it's looking rough for Sukuna. He's not just fighting anyone. I mean, neither is Gojo, but now Sukuna is fighting the real deal. None of the riffraff. This is Gojo. This is the flesh of the greatest sorcerer that he's ever fought. If Yuta can use Gojo right, there's almost no excuses why he wouldn't win when Sukuna is at his worst. Just consider Yuta's potential if he can use Rika's curse technique. Since being fully manifested, Rika Orimoto's copy curse technique is active while connected to Yuta. It's very likely this Gojo is wearing Rika's ring on his left hand, and this would be a sign of their connection. The chapter never mentions it, however, since Rika's curse technique is active, Rika is fully manifested, and now Yuta could potentially become able to use all of her powers as well. This would mean Yuta would have about 10 curse techniques including his own. 10. And since Rika is his storage system, there should not be a problem with having that many. Genjaku's curse technique usually does not let you keep the previous technique of the previous host. However, he found a way around it since he was able to use Kaori's anti-gravity ability. And since Yuta can still maintain his curse technique connection, then he has the potential to use the same loophole that Genjaku had. Imagine 6 eyes plus the copy ability, like the cleave, plus the Jacob's ladder, plus clairvoyance, plus sky manipulation, plus limitless. It's crazy. That means every curse technique receives a buff from the ultra refined tuning of the 6 eyes and unlimited cursed energy usage, since Yuta would be so efficient, unlike how sloppy Gojo said he was before. Purely from a power scaling perspective, at that point, Yuta would be like a Jujutsu god. He might even surpass Gojo in that state, and certainly would be stronger than a nerfed Sukuna. Imagine Jacob's ladder plus cursed speech don't move, then hollow purple, like bro, Sukuna would get vaporized. And if he's super efficient, he would be able to switch between curse techniques on a dime. That version of Yuta is so strong that it's actually stupid. Then think, what if Yuta could apply curse technique reversal to all of these curse techniques, pushing it even further? But you guys know how this goes. This is Jujutsu Kaisen. Everything has its limits, and that's also true with Yuta and his curse technique. No matter how strong or powerful he becomes, I don't actually think that Yuta will ultimately kill Sukuna. Somehow Gege created a situation where Sukuna is like the sole antagonist. I mean, it's like 30 plus characters versus Sukuna, and the situation versus Uraume is interesting, but in the grand scheme of things, Sukuna is the main event and the only thing that really matters. Yuta's sacrifice will probably be the peak of the Shinjuku Showdown, but it seems after this transformation has run its course, Yuta will die, or at least he will never be the same. I imagine Yuta will push Sukuna to an actual brink, like he would reach a point where Sukuna would actually get desperate and have to push past his own limits. Finally, a revenge match that we would really get to see and experience, where both fighters give their all to curse each other. For me personally, that is the Jujutsu Kaisen that I want to see. I think that this will transition into a battle that would escalate to the merger being developed in the plot, and we will actually get to see what it is, how it works, and what will happen. And this can provide a way to direct our attention back to Yuji or Megumi, because ultimately that's what they deserve. Yuji should play a main role in Sukuna's death, and for the sake of Megumi's character, he also should at least take Sukuna with him, or even overcome Sukuna in some type of way. But that is in a perfect world, because Gege could take this any number of ways. Sukuna is such a huge goalpost as an antagonist. Now he feels invincible despite whatever is against him. Even a full power zombified Yuta/Gojo hybrid. It seems a little extreme, but there still are things left to explore with Sukuna and his power as a sorcerer. I'm more interested to see what Sukuna does to find a way around the limitless with how nerfed he has become, and truly if Sukuna has more that he has not shown us. Though at this point, if he just suddenly had an answer for a circumstance like a Gojo revival now, then I don't know what anyone can do after that. Yuta did not surpass Gojo, he became Gojo. And as the strongest, most useful heavy hitter, this plan almost confirms that those guys weren't reaching Gojo's level anytime soon. They have to cheat. So I trust that Gege has something in case Yuta's plan goes south or he dies. Sukuna is history's greatest sorcerer. It's no question, even when he's at a disadvantage, he is going to think outside of the box and create a solution, and I would expect nothing less from the King of Curses. It took 20 plus sorcerers and 2 fights with Gojo, and I still do not rationally think that they can put him in the dirt yet. It's still too soon. But right now, we will actually get to see what 20 Fingers Sukuna with no World Slash, 10 Shadows, or Maharaga does versus Gojo and the Limitless Curse technique. Will he break Unlimited Void from the inside? Can he keep up with Gojo's hand-to-hand and physical combat in his condition? Hell, again, can he even get through Infinity first? We already considered that Gojo at full power would basically destroy this very nerf Sukuna. However, Sukuna is notorious for just how he uses binding vows and different aspects of Jujutsu in order to compensate and take the W. But now we have a good opportunity to see how good Sukuna can be even at his worst. My brothers and sisters, we are at the climax of the Shinjuku Showdown arc. It's come down to a battle between a zombified Gojo Yuta Frankenstein versus Sukuna in low power mode. But anything can happen. This following battle will be one of the craziest, most technical fights in this arc, and I cannot wait to see what both fighters will do. But I cannot shake the feeling that no matter how strong our sorcerers get, Sukuna just does not care. Yuta is now faced with the overwhelming sense of self that Uro mentioned, but now, even he was driven over the edge, and now we see which of these two calamities will show the greatest strength.